video. Dr. Sommer, I'd like to start with you. When President Obama says that any kind of, clearly he's speaking to a predominantly Republican Congress, that and lawmakers, Republican lawmakers who are trying to push new sanctions on Iran. I have to mention things in advance. These are the last 2 years of President Obama in office. He's going to try and make legacy. When he says that sanctions are going to alienate our allies, our international allies, to me it sounds as almost he's referring to Iran as an ally already. And that deal is already set in place. Well, it's going to happen whether people want it or not.
Well, I think for Obama, we have to remember that Obama, so far in his 6 years in office, vetoed bills coming from Congress only twice. In the last month, since the new Republican Congress took office, or even less than a month, he threatened to veto 5 times. So there seems to be a new politics taking place, taking shape in Washington. We might be willing to call that veto bargaining. Okay, so you know, there's a bargaining whether veto is going to take place or not. With respect to Iran, I think that for Obama, I don't think he considers the Iranians allies, at least yet. Although there seems to be a certain level of maybe indirect cooperation in places such as northern Iraq and Syria, but we put that aside for now. But I think for him, the idea of allies is the notion that Obama's foreign policy since day one was based on coalitions, regional coalitions, international coalitions, and the idea of sanctions that would hamper such coalitions is what Obama is talking about when he talks about the possibility of alienating allies.
Of alienating allies. Still, you know, when we're listening to those, to me that sounded like the only statement, or should we say a soundbite as we call it in the business, that basically puts out a strategy. And you know,
I tend to agree, because for Congress to declare war, last time Congress did that was in the Second World War. It never happened in Vietnam or in Korea, any of those. What I do think, where I agree with Alon, is the notion that America's strategy is being flexible. I just want to remind you that in the State of the Union in January of 2014, nobody was thinking about ISIS. No, ISIS didn't have a name, or 3 names, right? ISIS, ISIL, and IS, or whatever.
Yeah.
So in a sense, the challenges that the United States is facing in the Middle East and in the region are changing as we speak. I mean, in the morning of the State of the Union address yesterday, there was a takeover of the presidential palace in Sana'a in Yemen, right? So things are changing so quickly that I agree that the kind of counter-terrorist strategy of the United States is being very flexible. One more thing, I think that Obama, both with respect to domestic politics and to a large extent with respect to foreign policy, is doing what American presidents who are unable to work through Congress often do, which is called going public. He goes public in a sense. He's trying to, and this is something that, you know, FDR was probably most known for, but other presidents such as Reagan and others have used in the past, which is going through the public. If you have public support for something, even if you have a Congress that is controlled by the opposition party, you are more likely to get your policies through, which is very important for a lame duck in his last 2 years in office.
The argument of being a lame duck, obviously, by many things. Rebecca, would you agree that there's a call for war from Congress at that point? Because